Good morning, Geeks and Gamers. And listen, right off the top, you guys don't have to be so complimentary about the thumbnail, okay? I know you like the thumbnail, but you don't have to say how much you love the thumbnail. But if you want more thumbnails like that, all right, if you just don't send any super chats, we will make sure, okay? If you send super chats, we're going to have to change it. If you send those super chats, we're just going to have to put Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy on every thumbnail. So that's the only way we can tell. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, not much. I know I'm trying out this new technique with YouTube thumbnails where I put things in the thumbnail that we're actually talking about. You know, I know it's weird. I know it's crazy, but I figured let's give it the old college try. So.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough. That was rough right there. I think they would rather you just put Sydney Sweeney in the thumbnail, even if we're not going to talk about her. I'm just saying.
Those are some of the most flattering pictures of Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland that I could find, honestly. So I worked with what I had. Okay?
Oh man, Grizzly Nightmare says stop gaslighting. Jeremy should be a politician. Hey, it's just throwing the idea out there. It's just trying to get audience participation back. You know, just trying to get some feedback, see what you guys like. But yeah, Ryan, I played Fortnite again last night. So after Cobra Cast.
How long did you play till?
Probably about 3 hours. Ended on a dub, so I was pretty happy about that. On a solo dub. Johnny was the only one. It was only me and Johnny, and me and Johnny got one duo dub, and then I ended on a solo dub, so that was pretty cool. But I'm awaiting, and chat, you've got to, for those that are following it, just kind of let me know what's going on in New York, because I might be going live pretty soon after daily, depending on what happens in New York. We shall see. But yeah, we've got Disney Star Wars to talk about. Holy shit. Dude, here it is 2024, and we are having the same fucking conversations that we were having in 2017 about this shit. Are you kidding me?
It's pretty crazy. The only thing that's changed in the past, 5-10 years of Disney Star Wars is that instead of waiting for the thing to come out and then blaming fans, they're doing it before it's even out. Like, they're doing it right now, days before this pile of shit even comes out. They're preemptively calling fans sexist in order to run preemptive damage control.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. First, everybody was quote tweeting discussing film. So it's like, what was said? You know, so then I had to, look and see, because discussing film has me and many others blocked. They have you blocked too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So discussing film has a lot of people blocked because they're cowards, little bitches. But yeah, so then I saw the comments and I'm like, holy crap. Seriously, I can't believe that they're doing this again. Now, I'm definitely going to start making videos. Again, this is where I can make videos, okay? I can do this, all right? You want to call fans racist, sexist, all that bullshit, getting ahead of the nonsense. God, and it's coming directly from Kathleen Kennedy. This is days after George Lucas's comments. This is unbelievable, man.
This is Jeremy saying, this fruit is finally low-hanging enough for me to grab.
Low-hanging enough where I can finally get... Dude, it was so funny.
It's rotted off. It's already on the ground, just chilling in the grass. It's basically where this fruit is.
Did I tell you? I think I told you this. So I got the D-Day Cobra Clips channel where Hailstorm clips stuff out. And... he was spending like hours and hours and hours on videos just trying to edit every and out, and trying to make it or when I'm reading super chats during a topic or some shit like that. And he spends all his time on these fucking thumbnails. And then like he had a couple videos that he didn't spend much time on. He just made them really generic and they got more views than the ones that he spent. And I'm like, welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. The more time you put, at least for us, the more time you put into it, the less views it's going to get. You put the least amount of time and it will get more views. That's how it works. That's how this game works. But let's get some super chats. Dom H with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Dom H. Appreciate you, brother. Let me get back to the top of the list. John the Casual Artist says, I agree with Jay or the gay. Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Ryan, you didn't even get insulted, Ryan.
Yeah, I dodged a bullet.
So Olgie, I've been deported. Says that thumbnail makes me look better. You did go with one of the better pictures of Leslie Headland in that thumbnail. Can you explain yourself?
I'm just trying to give the chat what they want, apparently. So I used what I had to work with. So.
Oh man. Let's see. Slade Lawton says, Ryan, do you prefer the Bane trilogy or the Thrawn trilogy? I would ask Jeremy, but everyone knows that Fig can't read above an elementary level. That's pretty mean and accurate.
That's a good question. I think that the Thrawn trilogy was written in the 90s, so it feels a little bit more dated than the Bane trilogy does. I think the Thrawn trilogy is more consistent throughout. The Bane trilogy has the one in the middle that's not great. It's got two really good ones on the end, but it's tough. I think that it's overall the first Path of Destruction is the best book out of all six of those. But I'd probably have to say...
And that's the Bane, right? Path of
yeah.
Destruction. Yeah, I read that one a long time ago. So
that was
I actually read that one.
Read it? Like
yeah,
a book with pages and ink and shit?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Were you in a hospital bed or something? Why the fuck were you reading?
I think I had I don't know. I think I had a case of the Mondays or something like that. I don't know. So
maybe.
Shout out to Office Space, man. Why don't we don't talk about Office Space enough?
No, not really.
Anybody ask you if you have a case of the Mondays? Shit, no. Hell no, man. I believe you get your ass beat. You say something like that. Holy shit, that guy's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time since I watched that.
Taker says the Acolyte was canceled per Mike Zero.
Hey, Mike Zero wasn't the only one with those exclusive reports, was he? Yeah, the Acolyte was never canceled. Leslie Headland was never fired. It was never a sizzle reel. You know, this whole thing. People were saying the same shit about the Acolyte that people are now saying about the Rey movie, right? That it's like it'll never get made. They're just pretending, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, they have taken them 4 years, but it did get made. And apparently, Jeremy, cost $180 million.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the breakdown the other day.
8 episodes that are 30 minutes long.
Prometheus Creations for a $100 super chat. KK just wanting attention. The more attention you give her, the more she wins, in my opinion. Let's move on and let her be yesterday's news. Let Star Wars RIP support indie creators like Ripa, Drunk 3PO, etc. I have great ideas in the wing. I like feedback on. Go check it out. Thank you, Prometheus Creations. And while obviously, yes, I agree with the overall sentiment there, Kathleen Kennedy, we know for a fact, does not want our attention. She just doesn't.
Yeah, it's such a fallacy that a lot of people are pushing out. The whole all news is good news or whatever, or like all press is good press. That is such an antiquated thing, right? Back when you had like a local newspaper and a couple random local channels and very few national things that people were consuming. In this day and age, there's a reason that they fucking want to shut so much of this shit down. There's a reason they don't want us talking about this. There's a reason they push back against so much. You know why? What did we talk about? What movie did we talk about? Maybe more than anything fucking else, The Marvels last year. Did that help The Marvels become the biggest flop in fucking history? When you have 90% of people that are on the internet talking shit about your product, it is not a good thing. And it's not what you want. That's not the attention you want. It's been proven time and time again. There's a reason that there are YouTubers basically on a blacklist from Lucasfilm. It's not because they like the fucking attention.
Yeah, well, again, so I agree with the overall point of support the indie people out there. I mean, we got
100%.
Jay's stuff coming out. Obviously, Ripa just completed his $4 million campaign, which is unheard of in the indie scene. And so again, I don't disagree with the overall point you're trying to make for sure. But in specific to Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, Marvel, all of that, they do not like that people like us talk about their stuff because they can't control the narrative. And I look at it from a perspective of, like I said, I've talked about this many times, so I'm not saying anything new that I haven't said before, but looking at how the movie talk space used to be, you know, back when The Force Awakens came out and The Last Jedi, talking about a completely different landscape. And if none of us existed in this sphere, the drinkers, the nerdrotics, the geeks and gamers, and so many others, what do you think that this looks like? You know what I mean? It looks completely different because the media is going to be controlling the narrative about how successful these movies are and how successful Kathleen Kennedy is. So yeah, but with that said, Achromatic Chronicles Green coming out very soon. And Prometheus Creations, I'm going to let Jay know that because of your super chat, I promoted his book today. And he's probably going to thank you for the rest of his life. So, you know how it is. Prometheus says, when you guys say it that way, then that is fine with a salute. Of course. And again, not saying you're wrong. We're just saying like there's a different perspective on it where we're approaching it from. So,
yeah, there's a reason they want to shut down any and all dissent, right? And label anybody that says it as an ist, as a phobe, or whatever.
yeah.
It hasn't worked out very well for them. They're only going backwards. Andre CR says, I, Andre with a Y, am formally requesting G&G to make Beardo rename his Metal Gear Solid stream. Said, this is how you don't play. Watching him is like watching your puppy being put down. It's very painful.
Holy fuck. Whoo. And there you go. I heard he got
money. Is that what we're saying?
I heard he was doing I heard he did better last night. I didn't watch him last night. I heard he was doing better. That's what I heard.
I couldn't tell you.
He did mute for his whole opening though. Like he was like going through like talking to everybody. He was muted for like, I don't know, was it a couple minutes, chat? I was live when it happened, so they told me about it. I reacted to it a little bit.
Barbecue Pits for 199 just stopping by to say what up to my N-word Ryan. What's up, bro? Emperor Palpatine for 5. Blaming the fans again, eh? To quote Voss Montenegro, have I ever told you what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again. It feels like we're perpetually in some type of time capsule with Disney Star Wars. Like,
hey, you know what's going to help the marketing for the Acolyte if we preemptively call. Last time, during that Last Jedi movie, we waited until after the movie came out to call them racist and sexist. Let's preemptively call them racist and sexist for this one. What?
Same thing with Obi-Wan, right? With Moses Ingram. That was a couple episodes in before they pulled out all of those type of stops.
Yeah.
And now here we are, a week, well, a couple days, I suppose, at this point, five days before the premiere of The Acolyte, and you got Kathleen Kennedy saying it's really hard for women in the Star Wars space because there's just so many toxic male fans out there. It's so heavily male dominated. Thank you for acknowledging that the Star Wars fan base is predominantly male. You know, and that maybe you should make things for them once in a while. Just saying. But holy shit, this thing it's just perfect. Sometimes the universe just drops something in your lap, and that's what this entire story has been. It was, 6 months ago when they dropped that teaser, and they broke all the Star Wars records, meaning the most disliked trailer that we've seen in Star Wars history. Sitting now, as we speak, at 710,000 downvotes.
Woo!
Still not even 200,000 likes yet.
Woo!
But there's a reason that they're out shilling so hard. And by they, I just mean Lucasfilm in general. They got a lot riding on this. There's a lot riding on The Acolyte. This thing's been in production for a while. It's been predicted to be one of the biggest disasters we've seen. And now we know that this thing is expensive as fuck. The Acolyte budget is reportedly around $180 million for 8 30-minute episodes. So it took you 4 years to make a 4-hour television program.
Jeez.
And it cost you nearly $200 million. Now, I believe this will be the most expensive series in history when you factor in how much time is actually associated with this stuff. Because Andor, 12 episodes of Andor cost $250 million. That's a lot. But those episodes were fairly good length. And you're talking about 8 30-minute episodes at $180 million. You look at price per minute, I don't think there's any doubt that The Acolyte is going to be the most expensive Disney Star Wars project.
And I don't even think they're going to be 30 minutes. I think it's probably like 22 fucking minutes of actual footage. And then the credits are going to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
credits
you can usually like tack on 4 between the previously on and then the credits
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be like a 22. Holy shit, this is going to be bad. So we've seen a lot of footage from this show through the trailers. We know what, well, again, when I say we've seen a lot of footage, because we've only got 8 30-minute episodes, which are ultimately going to be about 22 to 24-minute episodes. There's not going to be a lot, dude. It's just going to be a diversity showcase. That's all it's going to be. That's all this is going to be, is a showcase of diversity. And they've already preemptively said the fans are sexist for not liking it, because they know the fans are not going to like it. They know the criticism is going to be wild. Holy shit.
That brings us to the headline. Kathleen Kennedy, on the same fucking week that George Lucas basically says, you know, Star Wars isn't really Star Wars anymore, Kathleen Kennedy does an interview with the New York Times to promote The Acolyte. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says women Star Wars creators attacked by male-dominated fan base. It's terrifying. Kathleen Kennedy says women in Star Wars have it harder with toxic fandom.
Holy
Lucasfilm
shit.
President Kathleen Kennedy comments on how the male-dominated Star Wars fan base tends to be more toxic with the females of the franchise. Just when we think about this, right? Obviously, they put this character, lead character from The Acolyte, right next to Kelly Marie's trans Rose Tico and Daisy Ridley's Rey, right? To try to tell you that's what's about to happen. Maybe what's about to happen, but the common thing that these 3 characters might all have in common, we don't know yet with this one, is they're probably going to be dog shit characters. That is the problem. And if you just want to believe the media, right? I want to believe the media for a second. They've been telling us stories for 2 decades about how terrible fans were to Jake Lloyd and to Ahmad Best, right? This male-dominated franchise that just bullied them so badly. That's weird, isn't it? What director has received more scorn? What creative for Lucasfilm received more scorn than any other person? Rian Johnson. It's weird. It's almost like if fans don't like something, they're going to voice their opinions.
And I ask, why wouldn't they put, I don't know, why wouldn't they put Princess Leia, maybe Clone Wars Ahsoka, and Ventress in this picture? Whoa, that would actually destroy the narrative, wouldn't it? The female characters just get a ton of hate, right?
Not for me, but yeah.
So, well, no, but generally speaking,
correct.
That would destroy their fucking narrative, because their narrative is garbage. These are just terribly written characters, or terribly represented characters. Nobody gives a shit about these characters. It has nothing to do with them being female. And you can also put fucking you can put some of these shitty male characters that Disney Star Wars has produced and put them on this picture too.
You could put Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi.
Yes, you can.
In this picture, right? Like that's the reality. Is they want to say, oh, they hate black people, they hate women. Where was all the hate from the same franchise for Leia, for Lando, for Mace Windu, for Padme Amidala? It wasn't there. Characters get criticized because people don't like those characters sometimes, regardless if they're white, black, Mexican, whatever, male, female, or in the case of Disney Star Wars, somewhere in between. But let's get into these quotes, I guess. These comments were made. What's up, Chris Score?
Look at there. Chris in the house. What
Rian
up,
Johnson
Chris?
probably is a woman. The comments were made during an interview with the New York Times in promotion of the new Disney Plus series, The Acolyte. The Star Wars show has Leslie Headland on board as showrunner, and Kennedy said she already noticed her struggling before the series had even been released. Well, it still hasn't been released. For the Lucasfilm president, it seems terrifying for the women of the franchise. Operating within these giant franchises now, with social media and the level of expectation, it's terrifying. I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more. Because of the fan base being so male-dominated, they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. Do you think there were any, personal attacks levied against Rian Johnson? I feel like you could probably attest personally to some of those.
Bro, do you know, and I'll correct, well, I don't know if you present it specifically to Disney Star Wars, but If you want to talk about who's been attacked more than anybody in Star Wars history, it's George Lucas.
Yeah,
Is who's been attacked more than anybody in Star Wars history. George freaking Lucas has dealt with more attacks than any female by a mile in Star Wars. This is a passionate fan base, period. When you have a passionate fan base, you're going to have passionate responses. You're not going to make them happy all the time. That is how fandom is. It has nothing to do with gender-specific bullshit. However, when you try and take characters and specifically present them based on their sexual preferences or their identity or their sex, whatever you want to call it, yes, they're going to get criticism specifically for their sex because you're defining them off of that. So that's not the fans' fault. Jesus, this is unbelievable, man. Holy shit, I can't believe we are here. Can't
you mean
believe
that we're still here?
That we're still here, yeah. Holy fuck.
Why are we still here?
How is this happening?
Just to suffer.
How right can we be? Like, I am shocked at how right we are. I really am. I can't believe it.
Along with having a woman serving as a showrunner, The Acolyte features multiple women in starring roles. The diversity has gotten the series referred to by some on social media as the Wokalite. But these kind of complaints have not deterred Lucasfilm from staying the course with representation in Star Wars. As Kennedy said, quote, "My belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy decision for me." And it's crazy. I feel like I wasn't alive, back when this happened. But I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, somebody out there who was. I feel like Star Wars, a lot of people were able to connect to that story. Didn't matter what country they were from, what language they spoke, what religion they were, if they liked to fuck other dudes in the ass or not. I feel like everybody could connect to that type of story because it's about the characters, right? It's not about all this ancillary bullshit. It's about the story that they're going through. So you don't need to. You could have an all-black cast that, and a white person come along and be like, "Holy shit, this is a really fucking good movie. I love this." You could have an all-white cast. A black person comes across and says the same thing. But you have a dog shit story that, at its heart, is truly just based on propaganda, like we've been told this story will be when it comes to Leslie Headland. Well, there's a good chance a lot of people are going to reject that.
Yeah, I mean, again, as you said, the reason that Star Wars worked and the reason that Star Wars became what it became is because it did have a universal connection with people. You didn't have to be anything specific to connect with Star Wars. That's why. If it was something that was specifically targeted towards a specific gender or sexual identity, it wouldn't have gotten as big as it was. It would have never became the universal success. And they've just abandoned all of them. Yeah.
Like, Lord of the Rings has been translated into, I think, like more fucking countries than anything except like the Bible or something insane like that, right? You're talking about for decades and decades and decades, Lord of the Rings been beloved all around the world, regardless of who those characters actually look like or who they fuck.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's almost like people on a grand scheme don't really care about something like that. It's about the story. And that's what Star Wars is struggling with.
And they're inventing a boogeyman that does not exist when they do this shit. They take these massively popular franchises like Star Wars or like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then they try to force change into it by telling you that it needs to appeal to a demographic that it already appeals to. It's the weirdest shit ever. Oh, the MCU needs to appeal to more women. Well, plenty of women go and see the MCU movies. The women that are interested in them are going to see them. They're going to see them for Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. They're going to these fucking movies. Probably more women go to see the Marvel movies than saw Star Wars even. But then they say, oh, we have to change the Marvel Cinematic Universe to appeal to more women. You already had women. You already had the normies. You already had regular people. At some point in time, there's only so many people you can get. And the more you start pandering to a group of people that don't care about your product, the more you're going to lose the people that do care about your product, which is where Marvel's at, which is where Star Wars is at. It's absolutely nonsense. And Chris Evans is not a movie star.
And then the other side of this is, of course, the other person we have in the thumbnail, which is Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland. I'm sure she respects women, clearly. But there's some comments from her as well that it's already setting the tone for the backlash that you know is likely to happen. Now, Kathleen Kennedy talked a lot about this as well, about Leslie Headland in the interview. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy says she told the Acolyte creator, "You've written a great Star Wars show. Now go write a Leslie Headland show." As she cried tears, lesbian tears, maybe. I don't know. She's also talking about how she would love to just do this for the rest of her life. You know, this is what she wants to do until she retires. But interestingly enough, Leslie Headland also had some comments about that fan base. And this is setting up all these things we've heard for the past several years. Backlash to Disney Star Wars, the same type of messaging. Headland has already started to limit her exposure to online chatter about the show to block out any of the toxic fans. And the show hasn't even debuted on Disney Plus yet.
Are you reading?
What's that?
You reading? Did you switch over?
Oh, yeah, I did. What the
okay.
Fuck. I shared the Chrome tab instead of
the window. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to pull a Jay situation here.
I appreciate that.
Jay just sat there for like 30 or 40 seconds.
It's so funny because now, like, whenever I share something, he'll be like, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah, I know. He's got like PTSD now.
He does. He does. Headland has already started to limit her exposure to online chatter about the show to block out any of the toxic fans. And the show hasn't even debuted on Disney Plus yet. As a fan myself, of course, you know, I love all the Star Wars.
All the Star Wars.
I know how frustrating some Star Wars storytelling in the past has been. I'd love if you would elaborate on that instead of just making that random blanket statement.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think was frustrating? Was it the prequels?
Please tell us. Please tell us.
Disney Star Wars project?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you say Clone Wars, I might flip the script to support you now. But I felt it myself, she said. And I stand by my empathy for Star Wars fans. But I want to be clear. Anyone who engages in bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan. Now, if this was 20 years ago, I don't think that thing would be like, well, yeah, of course. It's like 0.001% of people are going to say something despicable like that shit or whatever. Right? Okay. What about now, though? Now, if you simply criticize a character that's dog shit, you get called a racist, you get called a bigot, you get called a homophobe, you get called a transphobe. They're setting the stage to blame fans for this failure.
They are. I wish I could interview her and go, what is your stance on cancer? Oh, I think cancer is terrible. Okay. Just want to make, why didn't you say that already? What is your stance on kicking puppies? We need to know your stance on kicking puppies. Like, thank you for the obvious standard talking point bullshit. But yes, you're right. They are just building the stage is all they're doing. They know that this series is going to be hated. They know that it's going, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right about this. We haven't seen them preemptively do this for any series or movie.
I can't remember this line specifically. Anyone who engages bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan. That reminded me directly about the Moses Ingram stuff from the Obi-Wan series.
Right.
The shit that Ewan said in his car video.
Yeah.
And the tweets that the Star Wars official accounts put out. And that was all because of like 2 anonymous DMs from random people with no followers on Instagram. Like that, for all we know, could have been sent by anyone, including themselves. And that's what all that was for. And it was a distraction to try to justify saying that people who are being critical of this character, it's just because they're racist. That's how they tried to gaslight everybody into thinking it was all about. And I feel like they're setting the same thing up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this all, again, I'm trying to remember how this all, I know there was some comments about Moses Ingram before the show, but it was like, that. When was that car video he made?
That was in between the release of episodes like 3 and 4 or something. It was in the middle of the series.
Okay, right. And they are really, so I think that they just know that they've got dog shit on their hands, and they are prepping the narratives. The mainstream outlets are going to be pushing this. The shills are going to be pushing this. That is what they're doing, because I think that the Acolyte is going to be the most hated Star Wars thing we have ever seen.
I potentially, yeah, and I'm interested to see what it does ratings wise. They've pushed it so hard. They're doing the same thing they did for the Ahsoka shit, the free screenings, right? Free screenings in theaters all around. You know, they tried to do that for the Anakin episode, and not even that could really get people to tune in. But obviously, this is going to be a highly contentious series.
Yeah, this is. Again, I kind of want to say what I always say, but I get clipped out when I say it. But this is just going to be a diversity showcase, okay? That's all it's going to be. That is the story here. The story is we love diversity, and Star Wars is for everyone. That is the overall point of the Acolyte right there. Diversity and Star Wars is for everyone, except those bigots, racist, and sexist. That's who it's for.
Which we define as anybody who has a problem with our characters.
Correct. Right. Holy shit. I can't believe this. And if you think it's bad now, just wait until the criticisms happen. So the show is releasing when?
Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. And
June 4th or 5th or something.
And it's the weekly model, right?
2 episodes will drop the first week or the first night. And then it'll be weekly after that. Okay.
And so I wonder when we're going to start getting reviews from the shills anyway.
We've already got some. They're already out. Like, I don't know if the official like review is out, but in terms of first reactions and shit, we already had a bunch of those come out probably, 5 or 6 days ago, maybe a week ago, because they did that big red carpet thing where Dave Filoni was standing there with Leslie Headland, proud of his creation there.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to be clear, too, that Dave Filoni is involved in the Acolyte. I mean, it's been his job there for a couple years now to oversee all these things, to be the guiding force between all this shit. But Leslie Headland's talked about how much Dave Filoni helped her in the process.
But who's still defending Dave Filoni?
But there's people out there.
Who?
Somehow people still defend Dave Filoni.
Hell, I haven't defended him in years. I won't even watch his shit now. No, I know that. But who's still defending this guy? I want to know.
Well, Jeremy, you're not too connected to Star Wars right now for good reason. But there are people out there that still think that Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars.
Well, they're fucking retarded.
Damn.
I say this as someone that's a huge Clone Wars fan. All right? Dave Filoni sucks. Dave Filoni he's whatever you thought of him from back in the day, he's basically like quit thinking. He's basically Howard Stern now. All right? Like, that's what he is. Maybe you liked him back in the day, but he's a piece of shit now. He's lost. He's gone. It's over. And he never really had a backbone to begin with. He was good at, when George was there, he was good at doing things George's way, but he's basically just a chameleon. He has no backbone whatsoever, and he will not stand up to Kathleen Kennedy. He is Kathleen Kennedy's bitch. Like, he 1,000% is.
I don't know if he's Kathleen Kennedy's bitch. I think they're aligned. Like, I think they're joined at the hip. You know what I mean? I think he's on board. I don't think he is doing things because Kathleen Kennedy is making him say it. I think this is always who Dave Filoni's been.
That's potentially it. But we didn't see a lot of that in the Clone Wars from an agenda-driven standpoint. You might not like that they went against certain things on EU side, but like they didn't. It wasn't like feminism on right in front of our very eyes.
Like, so you're not telling me that now, like, knowing everything we know, if we go back through Clone Wars, we don't see just
I didn't see Anakin Skywalker disrespected
a lot of
by
just
women,
strong female characters that are pushed to the forefront.
I thought Anakin was phenomenal in the Clone Wars. I thought Obi-Wan was, but the thing we see, I don't care about strong female characters. I care about strong female characters. But tearing down the male characters.
What I'm saying is you can't start seeing that there's like an agenda at play with some of these characters. And then finally, when he does get no holds bar, what does he do? He makes these characters the center point of fucking everything. Characters like Sabine, characters like Bo-Katan, characters like Ahsoka become the most important players in Star Wars. And when he gets full control of them, like, this is what we see happen. Like,
potentially,
for me, the writing's always been on the wall for that shit.
Yeah, I mean potentially, but again, I don't. I can go back and watch the Clone Wars and very much enjoy it, the hell out of it, without seeing all the bullshit to it. Again, George is the reason we got Ahsoka anyway, not Dave Filoni. George is the reason we got Ahsoka. So, so you can't sit there and say that the Ahsoka being the creation of George
Dave Filoni
is Dave Filoni's fault.
Well, but Dave Filoni is the reason that Ahsoka Tano became as important as she did, survived Order 66, went on to survive all through the Galactic, was part of forming the fucking rebellion, right?
Yeah.
Like, all these different things, those are Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
And even though I disagree with the existence of Ahsoka to begin with, I think it's a bad idea based on what we saw between, or what we should have seen between episodes 2 and 3, what we eventually saw in 3. It doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to do that, that I would recommend doing the way George suggested, that Ahsoka ends up not living through this. She's a reason that that Anakin doesn't trust the Jedi. Just one more cog in that wheel of why Anakin doesn't trust the Jedi Order as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
okay, you could play into that, but for her to then become the most fucking important character in Star Wars, effectively what she is right now, by the way. And also all the stuff in season 7, how tied in with Revenge of the Sith she was. It just makes me cringe.
I don't know if I think she's default the most important character because she's the only one left that people ever cared about to begin with versus all the other characters as they've created. So like Rey is supposed to be the most important character in Star Wars, but nobody fucking likes her. She should be based on Kathleen Kennedy and the way that they've told the story and Rian Johnson and JJ and all of that. But she's not because no one ever cared about her to begin with. And all reality, if you just look at Ahsoka since Disney's taken over, there's nothing that makes people care about that character. In fact, I feel like most people don't give a shit about Ahsoka anymore, especially after the live action series. I don't. I didn't watch it. But does anybody really care about Ahsoka anymore now?
I mean, I think that, again, I've always said this. I think she had like a super huge, but not super huge, super passionate, but relatively small fan base in regards to the rest of Star Wars, right? Mm-hmm. Like Star Wars general as a whole, because just the animated stuff does not draw those same. So I think that hardcore fans or people that pay attention a lot may have had a misconception as to how popular the character actually was.
I agree.
How popular she is, like this big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, but Rey should be. But based on everything we've seen, though, I think the perception makes it look like Ahsoka's more prominent in the universe than she is. But maybe that's because I haven't watched a lot of this shit either, to be fair. Because I didn't watch the fucking Ahsoka series. I didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. Was she in Book of Boba Fett?
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like Rey is who they wanted to be the most important character. But the failure of storytelling has made her so fucking irrelevant. And
you're talking about 40 years apart, though, or 30 years apart. You know, like Rey's not even alive when we're getting these Ahsoka stories.
No, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, in theory, about what they wanted Rey to be they wanted Rey to be the face of Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's what they wanted, but they failed so miserably. And now, are we still getting a Rey movie? By the way,
yeah,
is that still happening?
Still in production. Yeah, the script writer is working on the script now.
Jesus Christ, that's supposed to be a wide release, right? Like in theaters?
That's a movie, yeah. It's like a movie.
That's good. There's no way that movie happens. There's no way. Like I'm saying this right now. I do not think the Rey movie actually happens. I just don't. And if it does, it goes straight to Disney Plus. I can't see this being a wide release, dude. This movie will flop so fucking hard.
If I were a betting man right now, I'd say it's happening.
I mean, look. I think we're
gonna get season 4 of The Mandalorian bastardized into the Grogu Mandalorian movie. Which, if they actually release it and call it Mandalorian Grogu, they should just fucking punch themselves in the face. What a terrible fucking title for a movie.
I can't see a Rey movie coming out, man.
The Rey movie will be the next one.
The Rey movie coming out in theaters will be a fucking disaster.
I think they're going to start going more towards theaters than they are away from them, because I talked about this earlier. If you spend $100 million to make a season of The Mandalorian, and you fucking put it on Disney Plus. Guy, you're just fucking blowing so much money, right?
Yeah.
You take that same $100 million. Now, I don't know what the budget for that. They're probably going to up it a little bit. But even if you do, and you put it in theaters, even if it flops, even if you don't get your money back, you're getting more of a return than you are just from putting it straight on Disney Plus.
But
and then you put it on Disney Plus after that.
Anyway. The optics of it failing at the box office, though, are catastrophic, I think. Like, that's one of the Marvels. Like, the Marvels coming out in theaters and failing like it did is so much worse than it coming out on Disney Plus and nobody watching it. But I know what you mean. There's monetary, at least there's some monetary return, you know, from
Apple
that.
did, right? With a lot of those movies they had that they spent so much fucking money on for Apple, for their streaming service. They're like, you know what? Let's just fucking put these out in theaters. See if we can like get
make $100 grand or $100 million,
right? And even though that'll lose money at the box office, it's not as bad as it would have been had we not done this.
But like, even think about like, so how many episodes was Ahsoka, the series, the live action? So was it probably, what was it? Was it probably like 6 hours in total? Oh, they 30-minute episodes?
No, they were probably. I would guess that it's probably like 5 hours or something, maybe.
Okay, okay. So like, if they would have released a 2.5-hour Ahsoka movie in theaters, like it would have flopped miserably, and the Rey movie probably won't flop as bad as an Ahsoka movie, but it's still, man, it's going to be bad optics if they do this again. I hope they do. Disney, if you're watching,
they dragged Daisy Ridley out in front of Star Wars Celebration, right?
Yeah.
Along with Dave Filoni and along with James Mangold, along with the activist director, I don't even remember her name right now, like all this stuff. And we've seen more projects announced and canceled than we've seen actually come to fruition at Disney Star Wars. But just like with the Acolyte, despite them knowing it's going to be a shit show, despite them knowing all this stuff is involved, they went forward with it. And I think for Kathleen Kennedy to announce something like this and bring Daisy Ridley up and have her talking so much about it on all these different media cycles that she's doing, I think they're committed, regardless.
I hope it does happen. I just can't see how there's any interest whatsoever for a Rey movie at this point in time, especially after the Acolyte comes out and it's going to fail. What other projects are on the horizon for Disney Star Wars between now and the Rey movie?
Skeleton Crew.
Nobody's gonna, that's not going to turn the needle. So,
and a bunch of like kids on a ship that get thrown in another galaxy or something.
And this is a live action.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's. I don't think the Rey movie happens, but we will see. I hope it happens. Just like I really want Rian Johnson, who I'm a fan of, by the way. Okay. I think we've treated Rian Johnson too harshly. He made Mark Hamill very upset, and he broke Mark Hamill, and I think that's a good thing. All right, so I want more Rian Johnson Star Wars in the future.
Mighty Megatron for 2. Yes, I'm sexist because I don't care if you're feminist crap. These people are misandrous. Just use their own words against them. Orozco for $1 says, "Are you retarded?" John Goats for $1. The Lord of the Rings re-releases next week were one showing for one weekend at my theater. They added screenings and an extra weekend because it's all sold out. Old movies available at home doing better than new ones. That is something I think has been pretty cool to see, actually, in this era of not a lot of shit coming out in theaters. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with some of the delays that happened because of strike. Like a lot of things got pushed back for those reasons. But to have releases of Phantom Menace and The Mummy and shit like that are doing well, it's cool to see. People will go to the theaters to see something. Crazy. Crazy how that works. All right, we got a lot of super chats to catch up on. Pokey for 5. Those pick would make amazing harpy models in a Witcher game. Thumbnail, yes. Mr. Dangs with the gifted membership. Thank you, Mr. Dangs. Honest Guardian for 100 Mexican pesos. Give us your honest opinion. Is Acolyte DOA or is the sun dawning on the future of Star Wars?
It's DOA.
I think it's DOA.
It's 100% DOA.
Doesn't mean it's not the future of Star Wars. Jason for a month. Will they continue the long, slow death of Star Wars Disney, or will they quickly put themselves out of their misery fast? We shall see. I think that it's pretty much dead at this point. You snake sucker for 5. I believe that's my stapler. I'll burn this motherfucker down. Thank you, snake sucker. Emerald Sales for 2. I'm a girl, and even I'm offended by this. You should be. David Cushmore for 5. Are you looking forward to Deadpool Wolverine movie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not. I can't say I'm
more
like
interested in it than I've been for anything Marvel. Probably since Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I'm interested enough to the fact that I haven't watched the trailer yet, and I mean that in a good way because I don't need to watch the trailer. If we were on live stream or something, I would have watched it, but I'm not going out of my way to watch any of the footage because I want to see the movie. I'm interested to see what they're going to pull off. And I am at a point, I don't like watching trailers if I'm going to actually, like, if I'm genuinely interested in anything. Trailers show way too much these days. They have been for a long time, actually. Trailers show way too much shit. And I love movie trailers, man, but they've just gotten to the point where they show everything, and there's no surprises left. Best movie trailer ever, Ryan. What is it? Off the top of your head.
Best movie trailer? Jeez.
You know what it is? It's Man of Steel.
I know that's like one of your favorites.
Fuck,
yeah,
I love those trailers so much, dude. I love those trailers so much. All the trailers for Man of Steel are fucking fantastic, especially trailer 3. Holy shit, I love those trailers, man.
That's probably why you hate the movie so much too, because you like got so excited.
I was so fucking excited, dude. I was so excited.
Pre-Dawn Corpse for 5. I heard Beardo got abducted by Martians the long way. They brought him back though because he kept demanding they do more anal probes. Sir Paladin Thundercake for 5. Fade in. Yeah. Fade in. Shields, remember, for 2 months. The Acolyte premieres the first week of Pride Month. Coincidence? Probably not.
I think not.
I mean, June is a pretty big like release time for these series, though. You've got House of the Dragon, you've got The Acolyte. I think you've got doesn't The Boys come out in June as well? Like that's just kind of a big time for a lot of people to put their shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden for $20. Metal Gear isn't a series for the faint of heart. Beardo's starting to get the hang of it. It's a different style game than he usually plays, but he's learning. Watching him learn to play, one of my favorites, has been fun. That's nice.
Hayden's been wanting that stream for a long time.
The Silver Ranger for 5. Hollywood execs keep blaming Coof for everything, guys. COVID is over. No more mandates, no more jabs, no more variants. It's a dead horse, move on. Yeah, we're not seeing that anymore, right? The last couple like box office flops, the Furiosa stuff, we have finally not heard about COVID anymore. It's finally kind of exiting the zeitgeist. They can't use that as an excuse anymore. The plot strikes back, remember, for 3 months. Lucasfilm continues to burn themselves at the stake. A lot of witches there. Emperor Palpatine for 5. Let's see, what does it say? I told Bill if they blame the fans one more time, then I'm gonna set the Disney building on fire. Milton. Thank you, Emperor Palpatine. You snake sucker for 5. I bet Jeremy doesn't know Office Space based off Milton comic book.
I'm not familiar with the Milton comics, but that sounds pretty awesome if there is one.
Prometheus, list of good female Star Wars characters. Leia, Padme, Ayla Secura, Shakti, Mon Mothma, Jaina Solo, Mara Jade, etc. I could go on and on and on. Yeah, women only just started appearing in Star Wars, guys, when Disney took over. Yep. Albert Not a Retro for 5. Toxic male fans. Introduce her to Steph, Mara Jade, Melanie Mack. Then run smack dab into toxic female fans. Tobias for 10. The only expectation now is it'll be terrible. That's so low a bar. I could make a better show than any of these showrunners, and I'm terrible at writing and could never direct. Oh. That says a lot about your confidence in them, Tobias. K9 Alpha Eyes, Donald Trump, everything woke turns to shit. Elon Musk, DEI destroys and ruins art and animation and freedom of expression and creativity. Thank you, K9 Alpha Eyes, and thank you for capitalizing every word.
Does that bother you?
Yeah. Makes me look like I'm reading a YouTube title.
Yeah, Barstool Sports does that with all of their tweets, like or for like their articles and stuff. They capitalize every word.
For articles and things like that, I for some reason I'm fine with. And YouTube, like I feel like that's how you should do it. For some reason, when people super chat it that way, it just looks so fucking strange. But yeah. MJUK always want equality except when challenged, then hide behind their victimhood. It's never their fault. Men don't do this. We get on with it. Kyle Denson for 5. Only time bad press is good press is when it's something edgy or offensive. Think Cardi B's WAP song, GTA franchise, or Modern Warfare 2's infamous No Russians.
No Russians.
But it has to fit with what the audience is looking for, though, right?
Yes.
That's the key. If there are some people that are attacking something that blows it up and it's what that audience fucking craves and wants, yeah, that is good, right? If it's drawing attention to something. But if it's the vast majority of people out there and fans out there shit talking something that they don't want, that are putting it on blast, that is not a good thing. While the mainstream media is sucking the fucking tit of Lucasfilm. David Cushmore for 5. I would like to see Alien vs. Star Wars. What do you think? I don't need any more crossovers. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't want any more crossovers. Mate, like we're doing the G.I. Joe, the Transformers, from comics and all that. I think that's going to be a shit show.
Pre-Down Corpse Beardo. Okay, chat. This time, lock it in. Pwned by Metal Gear Solid boss for the 26th time. Screams in distorted Beardo voice. No. Prometheus, as Tolkien said, evil can destroy. It does not create. Arnold Squash and N-word for $2.99. 17 square miles times 45 square miles. Leslie's jawline dimensions. Albert, not a retro for 5. No woman involved in Star Wars has dealt with more than the kid who played Anakin in Phantom Menace, and Gina Carano was harassed more than any of them. Yeah, it's true. Didn't even think about that. It's a great point about toxic fans. Those were all trans people. Taker for 2. What if I hate aliens with bulging eyes? Is that okay? It's appropriate. Lady Wendelin. I was 11 years old when Star Wars OG came out. Yeah, I'm old. I loved it. Then Empire and Jedi. It already was loved by a female audience because it had strong male and female characters.
That's right.
Arnold Squash and N-word. 450,000 times 1,500 square miles. Leslie's torso dimension. Thank you for putting your numbers out there for us, for measurements. Prometheus Creation for 5, premiering in Satanic Month. Match made in hell. Ara Akbar go boom for 2. Ryan, repeat after me. I'm a home run. I'm a home run. Pre-Dawn Corpse for 2. Metal Gear Solid. Alien Dick the long way. No. Kevin for 10. Totally off topic. Have you discussed this anywhere else? But have you watched Tires? Somebody fucking asked us that Tuesday, and I have no idea what that is.
All right, I'm looking this up. Go ahead. You can continue.
Gung Ho Mac, member for 60 months. Ryan groomed Jeremy into a Filoni hater. His power's growing. Let's see. Arnold Squash and N-word for $2.99. Leslie's box looks like half-baked watermelon. Thank you.
Okay, here's Tires. No, so this is a Netflix series. It's a series. Yeah, looks like it's brand new. It's got Shane Gillis in it.
Oh shit! I've seen a couple clips from that. Then
yeah,
from his. Yeah. Okay, I've not seen it though.
When people bring that up, I think about that movie Rubber. Remember that?
No.
It's about a killer tire.
That's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You're talking about a movie where you have to use a condom, which would also be horrifying. A Money Wilson for 5. Jeremy, who's still defending Filoni? They're retarded. Theory is sweating. If not Dave, then who can? Theory likes Filoni. Doll Life Dan, member for 11 months. A few days until J Pride Month. We'll celebrate how proud we are of Jay. Rainbow flags will wave to celebrate the achromatic colors. I agree with Jay. Thank you. Brando Branaz gives some membership. Vice for 5, potentially. Peace or Utter Destruction for $5. All I see in Star Wars is wasted potential. Such a cool universe. They have no creativity. I have only apathy for it now. Filoni sucks. This
is the description on IMDb for Rubber. A homicidal car tire. Discovering it has destructive, I don't know how you say that, type of power. Sets its sights on a desert town once a mysterious woman becomes its obsession. So it's a homicidal car tire. It's God dang it.
God, that seems dumb.
It's, I've only seen like parts of it. It's just a fucking tire.
I'm 2 episodes away, by the way, from finishing Stranger Things season 4.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think of season 2?
Left. I think that season 2 is my least favorite.
Even over 3?
Yeah, I
Wow.
think that my main criticism of 3 is that Hopper is like over the top too much, and the bickering between him and Joyce is like, I feel like it's just not didn't really fit in the character of what we saw the first couple of seasons. What I really didn't like about 2 was 11's like fucking, they had like a whole episode about her with that fucking
Episode 7,
that black
or 8.
British chick or whatever.
Yeah, which
it
was
awful.
threw everybody off when they did that episode, and it is such a weird episode that throws everything out of whack on that season. So, but overall, I did enjoy.
I just like that. I like that story with the mind flayer and everything in 3 more than I did in 2.
But 1 is your favorite season, clearly, correct?
1's the tightest.
1's fantastic, man. It's so good. So good.
I'm not done with 4 yet, but 4 reminds me more of 1.
Tribish Tomas just dropped 50 gifted memberships, Ryan. If me and you could quit clicking it.
But you were taking so long to
I was looking for it. I was dragging it out.
You were taking so long to get it, and I'm like, I'll just fucking do it myself. As soon as I did, we were both there.
50 gifted memberships. Let's go. Thank you, man. Holy crap. 50 gifted memberships. I just blows me away every time you guys do that. I really don't.
That's an insane amount of money. It's a lot of pizzas.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I still kind of equate everything in my life to how many pizzas I could buy if I didn't spend that money.
Yep.
But the price of pizza keeps going up. Io says I think this means recent, the scent history of Disney indicates they can't recognize a flop, and if they could, aren't averse to pulling the ostrich maneuver, doing it anyway. Place Beyond Space for $199. I thought the Ray movie is supposedly filming right now. No, the Ray movie is not filming right now.
There's like in pre-production.
Yeah, they're still finalizing the script for that because the guy who, God, what show is he on? Peaky Blinders? No, some other fucking big show that he does that he because of the strikes and the way things worked, he ended up having to prioritize that, and they're finalizing the Ray script now. But the one that's in either pre-production or is like going to actively start shooting soon is the Mandalorian Grogu movie. Project Taco Fry, reaction to my memes on Twitter.
Oh, God.
Memes have gotten the attention of some of the legends of the Legion of Memers.
I saw your meme last night. You know what? I think I'll share it so everybody can. What the fuck, man?
Ron Cook for 5. Great to see the star of G&G, Ryan Kinnell, and his sidekick, Jeremy Somebody. Ron. Scott McKenzie, hail. What are you looking forward to this summer? House of the Dragon. And staying inside because I'm going to melt outside in Florida.
Well, I mean, outside of like, when's Cobra Kai season 6 coming out? Is it 7? Is it 7?
It's like August, November, and then 2025, 3-parter.
Yeah, that's right, the 3-parter. There's not a lot to look forward to this year. There's not a lot of games coming out. I have said I am genuinely interested in Black Ops 6 though. 4-year development for a Call of Duty game. First time ever they've put that much time to develop a fucking Call of Duty game. And it's Treyarch.
Prometheus Creation for 5. According to IMDb, it's called Star Wars New Jedi Order, coming out in 2026. For fuck's sake, they continue to release EU stuff, and they say EU is not good. Well, I don't think that's going to be I don't know if that's going to be the official name. IMDb is not a trustworthy source for upcoming movies. I just want to point that out. A lot of people have run with really retarded stories like George Lucas directing and writing for Andor and things like that because of bullshit IMDb stuff. That was like the working title a lot of people use, or that they assume they are using for it. I don't know if it'll officially be the title though. But if they did, yeah, it's a great series about that. That has nothing to do with Disney.
I'm sharing my. I put a link in the private chat, Ryan. Project Taco's fucked up meme. What the fuck? The AI is a mistake, man. It really is. You take a picture with somebody at the convention, and this is the result right here.
Okay.
Like, it's almost like you can't tell when things are like legit or not. It's scary. So he takes this picture of me, and then look what he does.
Me from Geeks and Gamers is a day and a thing. Me from Geeks and Gamers is a gay and a thing.
A gay and a fake.
The fact that you couldn't find like a picture where his like arm isn't flickering out of existence. Look at his arm here. A dog! A dog! Oh, we'll get fucking hit by Disney for that one.
Bro. Another 50
Boom.
from Andrew. Is it Jensen? Is that how you say it? How you say that, Ryan?
I would assume it's an abbreviation for Andrew Johnson, but I don't know.
Andrew just dropped another 50 gifted memberships. You guys are insane. And it's during that Jeremy is a gay and a fig. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is a gay and a fig.
That's how I would assume somebody whose name is Andrew Johnson would abbreviate their shit for like a username when you're only allowed 10 characters. That's what that looks like to me.
Andrew, we're going to say Johnson for now. You can correct us if we're wrong. Thank you so much.
We'll just continue to say whatever we want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see. Inakmaman for 5. The Ray movie will blow up in Lucasfilm's face like when the Kita rocket blew up in Beardo's face when he redirected into himself last night.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing, Andrew?
Just
drop 50 more.
Andrew Johnson. He's got a lot of money to spend.
What is going on?
Maybe he's Andrew Jackson. He's just fucking dropping 20s. You know what I mean?
Shit. That's 100 on top of the 50 that Tribish dropped. Holy shit.
There's a lot of new members in chat.
Let's see those emojis flying. New members. Let's go.
Use them all. Use them all. Taker for 5. You guys remember when Captain Tiva, the old Asian pilot in Mando, asked Cara Dune in season 2 if she lost anyone when Alderaan exploded? I hate that guy. Yeah, I know. You're a survivor of Alderaan. Did you lose anyone? My entire fucking family, you damn retard. Adam Rice, remember for 12 months, Blair Witch trailer was by far the best. It sent every moviegoer into a tizzy because the internet wasn't what it was then as it is today.
That was a phenomenal trailer and phenomenal marketing. And what is happening in this chat? Because Kevin just dropped 50 gifted memberships as well. Holy shit. Holy shit.
In the last like 10 minutes.
What is happening right now? Yeah, thank you, Kevin, you freaking mad lad. Yeah, the Blair Witch, I remember the Blair Witch when it came out, and I remember the speculation around it and if it was real or if it wasn't. That was crazy. And I loved watching the Blair Witch movie because I was still asking myself, like, is this real or is this not? You know what I mean? I don't know when you watched the Blair Witch Project. Like,
I watched it at a friend's house one time when I was obviously younger, and I don't know. We were kind of doing we did watch it, but I don't remember it leaving a mark on me at all.
Yeah,
you know
I really liked it a lot.
I'm not big into fucking
horror movies
like that.
Yeah, I like horror movies. I typically don't like watching them in theaters at all because it takes away from, me psyching myself into it. Like, I like to be home.
You like to be in your house wondering if you heard something?
Yes, and it freaks me the fuck out. It's just like when I play a scary video game, like it's like when I can psych myself into it, I can. It freaks me out. Now, of course, I can sit there and go, it's just a movie. There's nothing actually going on. It's just like professional wrestling. If I sit there and go, it's all scripted, it's not really real. Well, of course, I'm going to destroy the whole entire, aura around it. But I try not to do that with horror movies.
Yeah,
like
when you're a theater with so many people, it's hard to buy in that it's real.
Absolutely.
That happened in Aurora, Colorado. Everybody thought it was part of the movie.
This is good too. Jeremy doesn't want people to see him sobbing and screaming like a woman.
There, I'm very jumpy, like with fucking horror movies. Like I'm very jumpy with them. Tobias for 10. Fun Metal Gear fact: the reason enemies use a FAMAS rifle is because how blocky the original design was, perfect for PS1 graphics. Same reason they use the SOCOM handgun.
We're gonna be testing out the private lobbies for Black Ops 1 tonight. I don't think I'm gonna stream it tonight, but I'll probably stream it this weekend. But we're gonna try to do some test runs. I can't wait to have some 1v1s on Firing Range or Nuketown, Black Ops 1 in the private lobbies. That's gonna be great.
Over on Rumble, John Goats for a buck. Didn't Daisy really shut that narrative down weeks back when she was asked about sexism and said she'd been largely welcomed and mostly had positive encounters with fans? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Kathleen, maybe just you old cunt.
Yep.
B. Barrett for 2. The show's gay. Nobody wants to hear about Ryan's Johnson. Vault 95 Survivor for a buck. Finally beat Black last night. Swore I was going to melt the barrel on the M249. Took several tries. Good soundtrack. Now an Army of Two trilogy. I agree with Kirsha. Volt 95 Survivor for a buck. Who would you bet wins the Metal Gear Challenge, Beardo or Meek?
Meek.
Linko Kenobi for 10. What's up, guys? I beat Metal Gear Solid last night and posted my record. Gave Beardo and Mike a shout out. Yes, I'll be watching Acolyte to review it. God help me. Hail the 199.
Hail.
Aaliyah Wells for 2. Get the F over it. All caps. That bothers me less, Aaliyah. It didn't bother me as much as you could. It's like every single one capitalized. John Q Ghost is here. What's up, John Q Ghost?
What up, Yellow Flash in the chat? Wants to play Black Ops 2. We're going to play Black Ops 1, 2, and Modern Warfare 2. We've got all those set aside. Private lobbies.
James Opp for 2. It's always the man. The men are to blame. It always is. Place Beyond Space for 199. Splinter Cell is better stealth game than Metal Gear Solid. Sophie for 2. Hail 199, the fellowship, and shout out to the GCA. Yeah, shout out GCA. You snake sucker. Every word capped. Love ya, Ryan. LOL. Andre. You know what? Andre. I ain't going to pronounce your name anymore after you did this. Ryan, please read my super chat this way. Thanks. I love you, Fig. Anakmaman. You don't like every word being capitalized? Good to know. I'll try not to do that. Oops. Looks like I just did. My bad. I'll do better next time.
There's only one Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, Ryan.
The one that came out a couple years ago.
Fuck that. Fuck you.
Big Ounce for 10. Ryan and Jeremy, I'm making a fandom Menace of the Toxic Brood series. Who would your guys' arch nemesis? Gundams is DSP and Susan. Sorry, Ryan. Ripa has organized chaos.
Respawn Entertainment would be mine, since they're never going to give me Titanfall 3, and now they're more worried about pronouns and fucking weird shit like that.
Yeah, I don't. You can just throw a dartboard. I don't care. But throw a dart at a board. I don't care. There's enough to go around. Lord Baratheon for 5. Which movie will be more successful, Rey movie or Mandalorian?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's
Mandalorian.
It's tough to know, but I would I asked myself that question. Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
It's got Baby Yoda in it for the marketing. It's going to bring more normies into it.
That didn't help Mandalorian season 3 at all.
No, but you're talking about a movie releasing in theaters being marketed to the normies on that level. People will go see Baby Yoda before they'll go see boring ass Rey.
I think it'll be interesting. I don't think it's as straight up as we might feel like it is. Enormous tits for 2. 36, 24, 36. Billions that Disney lost over the last 3 years. Thoughts on Fitness with Nigel for 5. Guys, you think any more about the possibility of getting Matthew Marsden on daily? It'd be great to have 3 of you chewing the fat. I would love to. We've got a couple things coming up, so we've just been a little bit busy, but I'm definitely going to get Matthew on here someday.
Yeah.
I love Matthew
Absolutely.
Marsden. Ryan's Young Gary for 199. Howdy, y'all. Hello. Arnold Squash and N-word for $2.99. Ryan, Ken Caniff from Connecticut says...
Ken Caniff.
Oh,
You don't know
sorry.
this? Do you not? How do you not know this? Kenneth Caniff from Connecticut. Automated piece of shit from Eminem's albums back in the day. Remember that?
Okay. I'm like, I have no
Melt
idea what
my
you're
mouth,
fucking talking about.
melting your ass.
Ken Caniff from Connecticut says, hi, cock boy. Hello. Pre-dawn course for 5. Who would win in a fight, Jay Leno's chin or Leslie Headland's chin? Jay Leno all the way.
Leslie Headland. beat
Even
the
with his
hell out of
burned
him.
face. Force Ghost Marty for 5. Hello there. Long time no super chat. Jeremy, I tagged you on X where Trump roasts you. It's super funny.
I'll check it out.
Sir Hat for 2. Have you guys seen there's a $500 League of Legends skin? I have not. If anybody pays that, you're a retard.
$500 for a skin
That's crazy.
for like just for a digital thing. That's crazy.
K9
Who would,
Alpha Eyes
who would pay for like cosmetic shit in a video game? Like
a lot of people, clearly.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
I bought a lot.
shit. Yeah,
I
you
bought a lot of
fucking-
skins in Fortnite,
Fucking Fortnite, yeah.
and I only play as Snake Eyes, but I have all these other fucking skins.
K9 Alpha Eyes for 5. All we want is good stories with good writing and good written characters that everyone can like regardless of race and gender and sexual orientation. Agreed. Abyss Walker for 5. My dad hated Star Wars. It's my mom who loved it as a child it showed me the OG trilogy and started my love for the franchise. Hey, that's cool.
ABF says I just bought an Xbox to play my old copy of Blops, the best one. Yes, OG Blops is the best. I love Black Ops 1 to me is my favorite, but this is why I liked Cold War though, because Cold War did feel like the natural Black Ops 3 in terms of like all the maps and the gameplay. I still like Cold War a lot. But Black Ops 1 is still, that's the one I spent the most time with. And then Black Ops 2 is fantastic as well. So I'm looking forward to playing with some of you guys.
Qtard for 2 says psionic is pronounced pisonic. Is that the word you couldn't pronounce? Psionic?
Yeah. I thought that's what it was going to be, psionic, but
I say psionic. Pisonic, I don't think that's true. I think you're trolling me, Qtard. Knockmamon for 5.
our chat would never troll us,
Never.
Ryan. Never.
Knockmamon for 5. Look at Jeremy pretending it was AI. That's not how he actually dances in real life.
I can guarantee I don't dance like that in real life because I don't dance at all.
Jordan Ward for
Period.
199. Best and worst thing about living in Florida, the weather and the weather.
Everything else is, I love Florida, but the humidity is fucking horrible.
No state taxes is pretty cool. Your Candy Daddy for 5. Finally started a channel. Old Rooster Tales. Thanks for the inspiration. If you can make it, anyone can. Hail G&G 199.
That's right.
And Knockmamon for 10. Horror movies are only scary if the characters are likable and you don't know who lives. That's why found footage film sucks. The characters are always unlikable and you know everyone dies at the end. Jester of Roanoke. Did someone say all caps chat? I don't think so. TJ, speaking of killer tires, a rig blew its front tire right next to and slightly in front of me on I-95 yesterday. Luckily, I paid attention, was able to slow traffic before the tire flew off the rig and across 2 lanes. That
Holy
is scary
shit.
as fuck.
That's very scary. Holy shit.
Ron Cook says, I'm sorry, Ryan. Caps or no caps? I'm confused.
Ron Cook was calling you the star of Geeks and Gamers earlier. Now he's...
Yeah. Thanks, Ron. Alec Baldwin's finger. I just bought an Xbox playing old cop. Did you say that one already?
Yeah.
All right. Cheeseatarian. Remember for 10 months. Does random capitalization make Ryan mad? Pre-dawn course for 5. Jeremy, remember when the lobbies were hacked in Modern Warfare 2 and everyone had infinite tools? It was so amazing. Complete chaos.
Yep. Dude, after Modern... Like, I remember going back and playing Modern Warfare 2... kind of like after Black Ops 2 release and probably after Modern Warfare 3, it was so fucking bad with the noob tubing. The noob tubing was out of control.
Yeah. Big Ounce for 10. I'm getting the Punisher game on the OG Xbox. I hate Ninja Punisher. The art was cool, but that's about it. Also, versus Battle Godspeed versus Red. Also, in a battle, Godspeed versus Red Hulk, who wins? That's a weird fucking matchup. But I'm gonna say Godspeed. I'm gonna say Godspeed. Red Hulk's fucking badass though. I'm not sure.
Pick your poison.
Flint.
Why are we here? Says Benology.
Well,
Why
we're
are you
about to
here? Why are you
fuck,
here?
Just to suffer. Flint AEA for 5. Jay announced he's taking a break from social media. Just admit it, Jay. You're in butter dish rehab.
Yeah.
SBZ for 2. Ryan's arch nemesis, local McDonald's cashier. It's true. Oh, Ben says I still don't have an Xbox.
Not my fault.
You don't need one. Yellow Flash for 5. Best thing Xbox did when they bought Activision was fix all the old COD multiplayer servers. Many of them were broken, like World at War.
Yes, they were broken really badly. So I'm really happy that we're going to be. I play. All I've done is played with bots just to kind of test it out, and I was so worried that Black Ops was going to like be aged, and I wasn't going to enjoy it. I couldn't have been more wrong.
VHS cast capture for 5. Black Ops 1 is backwards compatible on Xbox for anyone wondering. Pyro Rampa for 5. As much as I love Black Ops 1 and 2 multiplayer, I lived off zombies. It'll be a good trip down memory lane if y'all tried it too.
I didn't play a lot of zombies. I know Beardo and Ben and Mike have talked about playing some zombies. So those will be, we will be playing some zombies for sure. But I'm more interested in the multiplayer, the TDMs, and the even free for all is gonna be fantastic.
Corn Boy, member for 12 months. Black Ops currently half the price in the Xbox marketplace.
Get on it, peeps.
Aaron Rodgers free pizza for 2. Ryan Roundhead Johnson has never been insulted.
Never.
Again. No male has ever faced any criticism in Star Wars. Ever.
Nope, never.
And Jeremy, we're caught up.
We are caught up. You guys
Never mind. And Aquaman, I guess Bent needs something to do while he's locked in the GIMP box by Beardo.
Okay, so I got a busy day today. We've got the Trump trial going on. I don't know what's going on at the moment because I've been, streaming here for the last hour. But I might go live on D-Day Cobra. If I don't go live for the Trump trial, I'm going to try to hop on Open Bar with Critical Drinker for a little while. So as soon as I get a little more details on that, I will know. But you'll either see me on Cobra Cast covering the Trump trial, or you'll see me on Open Bar. So either way, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. But I'm leaning towards the fact that I'm probably going to have to do a Cobra Cast, but we'll see. Ryan, what do you got going on?
Nothing. Just some videos.
Mo Zamboni says, I have an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One, going to grab my copy of Black Ops 1 tomorrow so I can play. Hail, Geeks and Gamers. Hail. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome.
Mo. All right.
And I know, so again, I feel like I have to apologize every time I bring this up, but we have so many fucking channels. So one of the channels, the channel I'll be playing Black Ops 1 on this weekend, if we get everything set up, will be my D-Day Cobra 199 channel. So just heads up on that. But I'm sure the other guys will be playing on their channels as well. But that's where I'll be playing. That's where I'll play video games over there when I'm not doing the group stuff like Mario Kart on Geeks Gamers Play. So, but thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And I accept your apology, says Razbender. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But anyway, thank you guys. So I'll see you for either Cobra Cast or I'll be on Open Bar today with Drinker. You guys have a great day. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Really appreciate that. You guys are out of your minds, and I'll never understand why you guys support us the way you do, but I will also never stop thanking you for it. So I really do appreciate it. Booming Bob says, I don't accept the apology. Okay, well, thanks, I guess.
That's the way to be.
And I have that Jeremy from G&G is gay in a Fig song stuck in my head now. Thanks, Project Taco. Really appreciate you putting that out there. Means a lot. But thank you guys. Have a great day. And we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.